There it is. What's up?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Trying to recover from work. Had a week off. Vacation is over. Got to watch a bunch of shit. It was good times. How about your week, Rob?
It was fine. I worked all week.
Right on.
Got to watch 4 hours of Zack Snyder.
Oh, dude, that's what we got to get into, man. That's the exciting stuff.
Falcon Winter Soldier. Boy, they didn't waste no time coming right out of the gate. I liked it.
Are we even going to get to the crew tonight? Because I feel like I could talk about these two shows for like 4 hours.
No, we'll get to the
crew. I could do a whole 4 hours.
Well, the crew wasn't Green Lantern 28 different freaking issues. It was just what, 7, 6?
Yeah, that wasn't
bad.
bad.
I finished. I was like, man, I need to read another comic. And I didn't.
And then you didn't.
Sorry.
Of course not.
I thought about it.
I read a shit ton, man. I was all over the place, man. I read like freaking 25 issues of Flash. I finally read Flashpoint because, I mean, everybody talks about Flashpoint. And then you mentioned Jeff Johns did it, who we were talking about on Green Lantern. And, he did. That's one of the best Flash stories I've read so far. Now, granted, I've only read like the Silver Age stuff, like most of that. And the
1950s.
And I read,
right.
I'm like,
the bar is low.
And I'm 20 issues into the Rebirth. But that Flashpoint was the best Flash story. It's probably because it had some of Batman in it. You know?
Yeah.
But it was really good. And I was like, man, we totally shit on Jeff Johns last week, but I really enjoyed this 5-issue Flashpoint series. So, and then everybody talked about Flashpoint, so I finally know what happened. So just trying to get ready for this.
You understand the multiverse now?
Well, that was, a little bit.
Oh wait, that might have been Paradox. Never mind.
Oh, he ended up seeing Thomas Wayne instead of Bruce Wayne, so that was pretty cool. So got that under my belt now, and read all the crew and everything else. I got this.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I got my copy. I guess it's a 12-issue
That's Keanu
series.
Reeves.
That's cool.
That's his.
Guess I got to get that.
Yep, making a Netflix movie and an anime series on Netflix. I'm not surprised. I thought it would take a little longer. I thought they'd kind of wait to see how the rest of the series went. But I'm sure
I know. I got
executives have seen it.
I got that text from you today, and I was like, "Holy shit! They already greenlit that and an animated series."
Cashing in while he's hot.
Yeah,
man.
Fuck yeah, do it while you can.
Everybody loves Keanu Reeves. He probably could have came to him with a fucking rom-com, and they would have signed him to do it. So
he's done those.
Yeah, he does lots of those.
That's not his passion, though. Clearly, after reading Berserker. I don't think that's where his head is.
He's like, I just need some money.
Yeah. Actor's going to act, man. They're going to take gigs. I'd do the same thing. I'll take any role. I'll work for J.J. Abrams. I don't care. I have no shame.
Right. I'll be like, Zack Snyder, sign me up.
Right. All right. So, let's talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this was something that people started campaigning for, I think maybe even before the movie came out, the original version. I don't know. But we know that after Justice League came out, after Joss Whedon took over, everybody was saying, "Oh, we want to see the Snyder Cut. We want to see the Snyder Cut." And this is mostly Twitter. It was like a Twitter campaign. And the hashtag just kept blowing up, and it kept getting coverage on all the websites. And it actually worked. Eventually, they relented, and they're like, "All right, we're going to take this movie that we lost money on." Rob is sleeping.
I mean,
right. Were you asleep already?
Rob was asleep.
I only closed my eyes for a little bit. I wasn't sleeping.
He was out.
Well, that's what happens when you talk about the Snyderverse.
I have a very soothing voice. It's like very light.
Dude, it could be nails on a chalkboard and Rob would fall asleep.
Right?
Possible.
So Warner Brothers made what I think is a strange decision, which is to pump more money into a movie they already lost money on.
$70 million.
Yeah, is that how much?
$70 million.
They lost $70 million.
No, to redo this.
Oh,
they spent $70 million.
What did they lose originally on the Joss?
Nobody
cut?
knows.
Nobody
knows because they spend so much on advertising. They never tell you how much they spend in advertising.
Oh,
so even though the movie made, I don't know, 300, something odd million,
like something close to like 700 million
worldwide. Worldwide. Yeah. But they probably spent 500 million in advertising or something. So you never know.
And then they had to pump more money into it when Joss Whedon came on for his reshoots.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they did this, and then it didn't even release in theaters. It just came to HBO Max. I don't know how big of a draw this particular movie was for HBO Max. They'll never tell us either. But so yeah, last Thursday came out, and immediately I as soon as I watched it, I had to go on Twitter to see reactions, and most people were really favorable about it, and I was just like, you people are really stupid. That's all I could think is like this movie was, in some ways, it was worse than Joss Whedon's, and there was a small part of it I thought that was better. But for the majority of it, dude, all right, let's get into just some of the moments. All right, it starts off in slow motion with showing Superman screaming no, and then his voice awakens the mother boxes, and immediately I'm like, this is so stupid. Immediately I'm like, this is so dumb. And here's Zack Snyder's whole thing is he plays dramatic music and he uses slow motion as a crutch to say, hey, this is a big moment. This is a big dramatic moment, but it's not. He doesn't use it in it. So what's funny is right before I watched this, I watched all the Matrix movies. I went on a big Matrix kick. Watched them on my new OLED TV in the 4K Dolby Vision. It sounded great. Watched all three of them. And right before this, I was like, I think Zack Snyder worships at the altar of the Wachowskis because they use slow motion, right? They kind of reinvented slow motion with bullet time, right?
Yeah,
and then everybody was trying to
them.
Right, they're trying to emulate it. And I think Zack Snyder saw that and he's like, I'm going to do that. But when I watched the Matrix movies, I noticed that the slow motion was used for emphasis. I noticed how it framed certain shots, or how certain shots were framed when the slow motion was used. It was it was something that looked cool, and it's something that stood out to me. I couldn't help but think, I was like, this is like a comic panel. They're trying to like freeze frame like the money shot of a comic panel, like here's the cool moment that the artist would draw in this fight scene, and they kind of slow it down.
And they did that
it wasn't
a
overused.
lot in this movie. So, oh my god!
But no, I'm talking about the Wachowskis. Zack Snyder didn't do that. No, okay. Zach, I don't think you're listening. The Wachowskis have the skill to frame shots and emphasize things.
Gotcha.
Zack Snyder did things like, I don't know, show Lois Lane walking to give a donut to a cop in slow motion. It's not slow motion. Watching Aquaman walk down a pier in slow motion, and then some Norwegian women start singing.
Oh my god! Let's not even talk about the sing. I was like, what the hell is going on? Molly started laughing.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I started laughing.
And then she sniffed his sweater. She sniffed his sweater.
Yeah. Let's not forget that.
It just smells like ocean. That just smells like fish. What are you sniffing his sweater for? That's so gross. Everybody involved in this is dumb.
Yeah. That was one of the first things where I was like, okay, this is going to be garbage.
Everything is so like dramatic.
With the mother boxes though, like Superman dies and that opens the mother boxes. Like they didn't even explain why that even would happen.
Okay, what
does his death have to do with freaking mother boxes?
Let me jump in on the mother box thing. I get it. That makes sense because nothing, that's the whole reason Darkseid doesn't invade Earth is because of Superman. Because he knows that Superman, like we talked about, he's invincible, basically. Right. So when he dies, I get it. Then, Darkseid can invade or whatever. And that's not an uncommon theme in the comics, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think. I don't know. But that makes sense. But the way it was it was played out, I didn't like. I was like, echo.
Yeah, it was just so.
It's like
it makes sense, like you said. That's the explanation. I didn't have a problem with the why of it, really.
Right.
It was
exactly.
Again, it wasn't grabbing me. I didn't care. And let's talk about Darkseid a little bit. So I told you guys like the day before, I was like, dude, I love Darkseid. I'm not a big DC guy. I just love the design of Darkseid. And Rob, actually, much like you, a lot of the Darkseid I've seen has been in the animated universe, and I really like him. And there's
Michael
a really
Ironside
good movie.
is the voice. Got the great.
There's a really good animated movie called Justice League War that I would recommend over Zack Snyder's Justice League or Joss Whedon's Justice League. Much better version of This Darkseid went out like a bitch. So they're establishing Steppenwolf as like his emissary, and Steppenwolf's a badass apparently. But Darkseid goes down with one axe swing in 5 minutes, and it just made no sense. It was like, if you're establishing your villain to be this super powerful thing, maybe don't show him die or almost die after 5 minutes of fighting. He didn't use his Omega beams at all. It was like, I'm like, so he's not even a threat. They just showed him. He fought like two superpowered people, went right the fuck down. It was really just poor storytelling. It reminded me of like the most recent Star Wars trilogy when they're setting up Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren is basically Dark Helmet. And you're like, oh, okay. This guy's going right the fuck down because he's incompetent as hell. And that's basically what they did to Darkseid. They took this amazing dude who can fight Superman without moving his hands, and he just goes down with an axe wound. And I'm just like, are you fucking shitting me?
Was that one of the reshoots? Like, did they do that Darkseid? Like, was that all the stuff that he already did? Or was that something they just created after the fact?
Now, a lot of the stuff was they had to finish the CGI. But most of, from what I understood, it was most of the regular people, the actors and actresses, was already filmed, and they just never complete the CGI to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they had all that CGI footage of Darkseid already, or if that was something they just did after the Joss cut. So
I feel like I have no proof of this, but my instinct is that he added that because people wanted to see Darkseid.
Yeah.
And that was his way of shoehorning Darkseid in, and it was terrible.
See, that's what I liked about Joss's cut. They said it, with Lex at the end. They basically said, Darkseid is coming, but they used him here for like 5 seconds. Well,
like
it's like why even bring him in? Just wait till the next movie.
Well, that's what Sean said. That it's okay to bring him in at the end, but don't show this most powerful, awesome being go down, even if it was 8 billion years ago or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Don't show it on the screen because, Darkseid does not go down like that. Like on any animated series, he will never go down like that.
No. I was telling you guys I don't know much about him, so I was asking questions about it, and like this afterlife equation, like I don't feel like anti-life. I don't feel like they explained that enough at all. I didn't know what was going on.
He can control people with the anti-life equation.
And that's on Earth? Is that what that?
They can control anybody.
I mean, is that
the equation's on Earth, yeah.
Okay, and he just has to conquer it and he'll have it?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I've heard it mentioned in comics and shows. I don't really know what it does. To me, it's just a MacGuffin. It's just a motivation.
It's kind of what he's after all the time. Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah. Well, they mentioned that like I fucking knew what it was. I guess... I don't know. Maybe if you're, like I was talking to my buddy at work today, and he's a big DC fan, and he loved it, and I was like, I love, like, Flash is my favorite character. Like out of all, like I like him better than any Marvel character so far. I haven't been reading comics long, but I've always liked the Flash, and like this Flash version made me want to throw up. Like he's supposed to be comic relief. He's not even fucking funny. And what was the deal with that fucking hot dog scene? Like, God, they introduced Iris West and like they don't even mention like why they're showing this scene or who she is. It's like, okay, I guess if you're a DC fan, you know who it is. But like, and then he grabs a hot dog and he puts it in her face, and I was like, is this supposed to be like a sexual innuendo? I didn't know what was going on. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, the dogs. Okay, ha ha ha. Fucking stupid, man.
Molly hates this Flash.
God, I hate this Flash.
She hates this.
And one of the things I liked about this movie was the Flash saved the day by going back in time and everything. But I couldn't even get excited at that moment because I fucking hate this portrayal of the Flash so bad. I wasn't even happy or excited
because of the way he runs.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you could at least cast somebody that can run.
Okay, I will say, the whole Iris thing wasn't necessary. I see why they did it. He did it.
It's a 4-hour movie. There was a lot that wasn't necessary.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Well, here's the thing. He had enough time. I liked the backstory with Cyborg.
I did too. That was another thing
but
I liked.
I understand why it wasn't in a 2.5 hour movie. You know what I mean? I get it. I liked his cut in the flow of it better, and everything made sense, unlike the Joss Whedon cut.
Right.
And I didn't like the people in the Joss Whedon. That I'm glad they got rid of those the Russian family.
Yeah.
And I liked what he was doing. But I'll tell you what, if I had 4 hours to make a movie, there's a lot that I could do that somebody else couldn't with a 2-hour movie.
Plus you got
what I mean?
Plus you got the internet, clamoring about what they want. So like he knows what to do.
Yeah, still, like Sean said, the slow motion, like I think I texted him when I was watching it, and there was a scene, and I don't remember where it was, but it was kind of towards the middle, and it was Batman and everybody fighting. I think it was when they were in the tunnel, and it was great fighting, and I was like, oh my God, he's not doing it in slow motion. I was like, this is actually a good fight scene. And then we immediately, like before I even got done texting him, it went to slow motion. And I was like, why? You didn't have to do it. I was like, you had some cool choreography going, and I could see it. And I was like, I didn't even, I went ahead and hit send, but before I even got there, I said it to Sean. I was like, oh. I was like, goodness gracious.
Dude, every time Wonder Woman touched the sword, they played the fucking gladiator music or whatever. Yeah, the Amazon theme or whatever.
Okay, I do like how they at the end with what was Steppenwolf, how like he gets stabbed with the trident and like she cuts off his head.
Yeah.
And Superman like burns his horn off or whatever. I do like how they just jacked him up. I thought that was good. But, also this was an R-rated film. There's so much more you could do with 2 extra hours and an R rating. You know what I mean? So.
And he squandered it.
But so the 4-3 aspect, are we going to get into that?
Oh yeah. That was one of the, that's the one, like the first thing, that's the first thing I thought of. I was watching it on my freaking 120-inch screen, and I was like, wow, I'm really glad this is in 4:3. It's like,
I was going to ask you, is you have like, basically like the biggest screen you can have in a house.
Yeah.
How did that impact your viewing?
That was the first thing. I was angry. The very first thing. I was like, why the fuck is this in 4:3? Like, it makes no sense.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense because it's not released in the theater. If you were going to release it in the theater and you want to do IMAX, that's great. But nobody's going to see IMAX right now. Yeah. There's no sense in just doing it in 4:3. It makes no sense.
What about your TV? What were you thinking?
Or black and white. Nobody cares.
Well, I think I've said before, like with Zack Snyder, it's just who he is. Like he's so incredibly stupid that he's like, hey, everybody's stuck at home. Nobody's going to see us in the theater. Everybody has a widescreen television. It would be cool if we cut the viewing size in half. Wouldn't that be epic? And I'm like, yeah, nothing that makes a movie more epic than watching it in the same aspect ratio as All in the Family. Like, what's wrong with you? Why would you fucking do that? That's like, it makes no sense. It's not epic, you idiot. We're not nobody. He probably has an IMAX screen. We don't. Most people don't have an IMAX screen at their house. So when you do that, you are literally putting it in this. You're like, oh, this looks like Full House now. Thanks. Like, no, you want to fill up the screen. That's what Christopher Nolan does when he cuts his IMAX scenes in. It fills your screen, and it does feel more epic.
Yeah,
they did it with the first episode, season 2 of The Mandalorian, when the crate dragon showed up. It went wide, or actually, I'm sorry, I opened up this way. But yeah, and that made it feel bigger and more epic. When you shrink it down and you're just like, wait, what year is this? What's happening? We got away from this.
Chris Nolan was an executive producer. He thought maybe he would have been like, hey, are you sure that you want to do that?
Executive producers don't do it. They slap their name on things and collect a paycheck. They don't do shit. That's all an executive producer. They don't give a fuck. They're just like, yeah, I'll probably make money on this. So.
I think he could have been.
I'm having a seizure. Like your screen is flashing green. I don't know why.
I know why he didn't plug in the Ethernet.
This is horrible. I don't know if I can capture this. Yeah, this is. I'm going to send you guys just a quick clip of what I'm looking at right now because I don't.
Does he still see it?
Awful. Yeah. Like, holy shit. Look at it. Here, I'm sending a video. It'll take a minute to get there. Why is it doing that?
Are you back? Is the video back?
I mean, we have video, but it's flashing bright green. I'm pretty sure I'm getting subliminal messages from Morpheus. Like, I don't.
Our listeners love this. They're like, I can't see anything. I'm listening to this on the podcast.
All right, I'm going to put up a different screen here.
How about
Just won't see you guys, I guess.
Now you look
like
you on
my
Santa Claus. There you go.
God damn. Watch the video I just sent you.
I did. I went blind.
But we're back now?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Like it's really bad.
Oh, okay. I can't do anything else.
All right. Let's just sally forth here. All right, yeah, so the aspect ratio, stupid. It's way too much slow motion. I mean, the obvious joke is that it would be 2 hours shorter if you took out the slow motion, but I don't even know if that's a joke. It was just so much slow motion. Positives. I do have positives. I did like the climax battle a lot better than the Joss Whedon. Again, going back to what Rob was saying about that, where the Flash just pushes a truck of, like, I don't know what the hell that was supposed to signify. They got rid of that, and they had a huge epic battle. And then, of course, Superman shows up, and he's got his black suit on. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. So that's significant because in the comics, after he died, he did have a black suit for a short time and long hair. However, I don't think that's why Zack Snyder used the black suit. I don't think it was appropriate to use the black. I think the black suit would have made more sense in, like, the credits scene when he was evil. You know, instead he put him in the red and blue, but Zack Snyder hates color, so he put him in the black suit. He wants, and that was the other joke I was literally making with Mason. Mason watched it with me out of sheer morbid curiosity, and I made the joke. I was like, man, the colors are so desaturated in this. I think he would have made a black and white movie if he could. And then, like, a day later, they're like, there's a black and white cut coming out. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this dude. So this dude takes these golden age characters that came to life in, like, 4-color comics, brightly colored comic books. And he's like, you know what would make these characters better? No colors at all. Just take all the colors out of the comic book characters. That's how terrible this man is for comic books. He really, truly doesn't get comic books or comic book characters. I think he read The Dark Knight Returns, and that's his whole and maybe in the 300 comic. He's read Frank Miller comics only, and that's his whole basis for how to do a comic book movie. And it's wrong. I thought he did a really good job with 300. I didn't know that was the only thing he could do. I didn't know that was, like, his whole thing was just, I can do grim and gritty.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
that's all I got.
He's definitely wanting to set up that, that Zack Snyder, bad Superman, that alternate reality kind of thing.
Oh, he did an interview I read about how it was going to end if he had 2 more movies.
Oh, okay.
This was like, yeah.
I heard something about Jim Lee's storyboards. Jim Lee's storyboards said something about, I guess there was, like, a scene with Lois and a pregnancy test or something in this one.
They flashed her drawer.
Test, yeah.
They flashed her drawer.
I heard on Kevin Smith's podcast, they were talking about Jim Lee's storyboard said that it was Bruce Wayne's baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And then I guess once Superman finds her dead and finds that, she was probably pregnant, and then finds out, then he goes bad, I guess is what he was trying to do.
What he said in the interview was, when Superman was dead, he got intimate with Lois Lane and found out so Batman's sacrifice was, was he was going to die at the end of the last one to make amends for getting it on with Lois or something.
It's like,
I don't know. I thought.
I'm like, I guess. I mean, that's something
I
we
kind of
never.
see why the studio.
That's
said
something we
this
never
is enough.
seen. I mean, I'll give them that. Like nobody else is doing that take. So it just, dude, I felt nothing. I see you, Sean. I felt nothing in this. I felt nothing. Like it
No.
was such a switch from WandaVision. Like I felt everything in WandaVision. I felt nothing in
That's
this
because
movie.
you were trapped by the dark hold.
The dark hold had me. No, it was because it was good character development, it was good writing, and it was good acting.
There you go.
That's what it was.
And this goes back to his slow motion and his music too. He's trying so hard to make the audience feel something, and all I'm doing is laughing and grimacing at how terrible everything is, because there's some talent there. I don't want to say like he doesn't have any skill or talent, because he does a good job with action. I think he'd make a good second unit director. Put him on second unit, have him do action scenes, and that's it. But his overall vision is fucking awful. It's so terrible. Like watching the scene where Superman wakes up, and I'm watching it with Mason, and this was the same scene was basically in the original version, but watching it again when they revive him, and then Superman, oh man, it started flashing again. It was going so good. Oh, okay, it's back now. Anyway, they revive Superman, and he gets up, and I was like, okay, so he has no memories. So the first thing you do when you don't remember things is try to murder the first people you see. That's not even Superman. What are you doing? Why? That's not dramatic. It's just stupid. And then all he remembers is Lois Lane. That's it. That's the only thing he can remember is Lois Lane. So she calms him down, but he tries to kill every member of the Justice League. For why? For why? What was the point of that? We know they're not going to die. We know that the Superman's not going to kill the Justice League in the Justice League movie. We know this isn't happening. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense. The writer of this screenplay was Chris Terrio. He co-wrote Rise of Skywalker with J.J. Abrams. So that tells you the level of writing we're dealing with here. Like shit's terrible. But to me, this is the parallels to J.J. Abrams' Star Wars trilogy and Zack Snyder's Superman trilogy are right there, though. You go back to Man of Steel, he set it up all wrong. Like the same thing I was screaming about Force Awakens. I was like, you can't have a satisfying third chapter in this because it's set up so poorly in the first chapter. And he did the same thing with Man of Steel by setting him up to be this, the superpowered Batman. It's like, stop making everybody Batman. Just stop it. Not everybody's Batman. Just let him be Superman.
Sorry. That was the other thing he said in the interview. So then the son of Batman and Lois at the end, that son would take up the mantle of Batman.
And no one would care.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
No one would care.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, his ideas are
I
so
forgot already.
stupid.
That's why you reminded me.
So let's talk about the fact that Martian Manhunter shows up as Martha, what's her face? Martha Kent for some reason. What was the point of that? What purpose did that serve?
Just to show him change form. But we already knew he could.
Didn't need to be in the movie at that point. Nobody cared. It was shoehorned in. It was stupid. It's like, why could that? It literally completely it took that scene and any emotional impact it may have had, which it didn't, and just took it all away because it's like, oh, that wasn't even Martha Kent.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
She did
That's
not,
what I thought.
It didn't even matter.
And then
I like seeing Martian Manhunter, and
Yeah.
I liked that Harry Lennox was playing him because I love Harry Lennox. But yeah, that was not the time to bring him in. Bring him into the Justice League, man.
And then Martha and Lois get together at the end, and like, what if that conversation comes up?
Yeah.
Martha'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Okay, so I wanna point on something. I don't know, for like the last year, ever since Ray Fisher's been crapping all over Joss Whedon, and I was like, man, this guy really had a bad experience with Joss Whedon. Everybody's crapping on him now, but I was like, man, he's really got a grudge against him. Well, it's because all his scenes were deleted, evidently. Right. Yeah. I was like, you're right. That I guess I would.
Well, again, though, you gotta look at the fact that he couldn't make a 4-hour movie. You can't release a 4-hour.
Yeah,
That was that movie is such a slog. Even the people that are like, I really liked it. You really think they're going to sit down and rewatch that thing 100 times?
Right.
No, nobody wants to sit there. There's certain scenes that probably landed for them, and that's it. And again, the climax scene worked for me. The nightmare scene, the shoehorn in the Joker, and then I love that the fact that that Joker starts talking shit about Batman's parents, and then Batman's like, "You better watch it." And I just started laughing. I'm like, "That's going to be the thing that pushes you over, Bruce." That Joker's killed like thousands of people, including fucking Jason Todd, but he starts talking a little smack, and that the Joker's supposed to take you seriously.
And
like,
he did, because he's like, "I'll fucking kill you next time I see you.
I'll fucking kill you." It's like, and I'm like I'm just
what?
like, Zack Snyder, please stop making comic book movies. You are terrible at comic book movies. Like, go be a second unit. All right, here's the deal. Don't move the camera anymore. I think it's like you're moving it too much. It's causing a data issue.
Rob wanted to.
I moved it one time.
I thought he was going to
It's my
talk.
fault.
I thought he was going to talk.
I was, but he kept talking, so I was waiting for him to finish.
Okay.
You ding dong.
Well, I don't turn it until somebody starts talking.
Anyway.
I was getting it prepared.
Calm down. It's not worth getting that upset over. Just stop turning it.
It's not my fault.
So, like you said, it's a 4-hour movie. Well, we talked about this when Justice League came out. We talked about how with Marvel movies, they established the characters first.
Yes.
You know, they had a Captain America. They had a Hulk. They had so we knew they didn't have a Black Widow, but she was in several of the other ones. So we got...
we didn't get her
we
background.
We established her.
Hawkeye was introduced briefly even before Avengers.
So we kind of knew these characters before the Avengers. Go back to Justice League. It came out after what? Batman versus Superman? Right? So we hadn't even gotten a Wonder Woman movie yet. We didn't know any of these characters. You know what I mean? So that's what you needed, a 4-hour movie to establish the characters. Because you had no backstory on any of them.
Aquaman isn't even Aquaman yet.
Yeah, exactly. Aquaman hadn't come out. Neither had what is it, Mira? Who spoke with a British accent all of a sudden in this movie, which I think she sounded better. She at least sounded more intelligent in this movie than she did with the American accent. I was like, Molly, she didn't have that accent in the other movie.
I have a question. About Batman. Like, he kept saying, like, I have faith or something like that. I was like, I don't know much about Batman. Just the stuff that you had me read, a couple issues of stuff. But like, he doesn't. He always seems. He doesn't rely on
turning the camera. Like, every time you turn the camera, it starts. Just leave it here. Just leave it here forever.
He did.
I did.
Well, no, it was on Rob, and then it's back on Steve.
Oh, man, you're saying your shit's fucking up when I turn it?
Yeah,
yes,
that's what he's saying.
That's what I was telling you before. Stop turning the camera.
Okay, now.
And evidently, there's a big delay because you turned it like 3 minutes after he said that, or before he said that.
Well, no, I had it on a different screen. Because like I said, I'm not trying to have a seizure.
I was wondering why you kept turning your light on and off. Okay, about Batman, like he doesn't seem like he relies on faith. He's the guy that relies on his smarts, and he figures shit out. He doesn't leave it to faith.
He doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't trust Superman. Even in the comics, after their relationship for years, like there's a great Justice League story called Tower of Babel that they made into a movie. An animated movie called Doom, where basically the Justice League starts getting taken out. And the reason they start getting taken out is because someone has found Batman's contingency plans for taking out the Justice League, because he has plans in case, Superman or Green Lantern or Wonder Woman ends up under mind control, how he can stop them. And somebody found his plans to take them down, and they start using them. Yeah. And because that's who Batman is. He's not a trusting person. He doesn't have faith in people, even people that have had his back for years. Meanwhile, again, it's all the Zack Snyder shit. His Man of Steel movie was horrible. I know a lot of people liked it, including you, Steve, but it's really bad. It makes no sense as far as like who Superman is.
I like Batman versus Superman too.
I know you would. All right, that's finally stopped. So don't move the camera anymore.
I'm not.
Anyway, that's the other thing. I like scenes from Batman vs. Superman because he did take them right out of Dark Knight Returns. But again, imagine going from Iron Man and your next movie is Civil War. That's basically what he did. He went from Superman to Batman and Superman fighting each other. And it made no sense. It was like, what? How did we get here? And again, it would be that jump. Whereas I was invested in Civil War. Whereas I think 98% of the population was like, yeah, Batman, take out Superman. He's a fucking whiny bitch. Please kill Superman. But in Civil War, you were torn. You were like, but I love Tony Stark, even though he's wrong or whatever side you were on. Right. But like, you still didn't want to see these people fighting each other. I didn't give a fuck when they fought each other in Man of Steel. I hated Lex Luthor. There's so many things he's done wrong in this universe. And the fact that he still has an audience of people. And I'm guessing the Venn diagram of people who like Zack Snyder movies is just a perfect circle with people who like Fast and Furious movies. Because that's the only thing I can figure is these people are morons. They don't know what a good movie is. They're like, it's dark. It's dark. I like it.
It's all right.
Whatever. Don't even start with me. I didn't say it was my favorite movie, but I didn't think it was as bad as you guys said it was. And then
it's okay.
And then once you like, I never read comics at that point. We hadn't started the podcast.
Sean pooped on you. It's okay.
Sean poops on me every day, every time we talk.
Every chance I get.
Like yes.
It's helped.
But yeah, like I didn't think it was horrible. I thought the Justice League was horrible. You know? Yeah. Like Man of Steel, dude, I thought it was awesome, man, when he fucking super blasted up into that Earth machine and destroyed it, and I actually enjoyed the dramatic music at that point. You know, I was like, this is very dramatic. I like that.
Watching him kill all those civilians was very dramatic.
Well, that was one thing he took out, and that was one thing. That's why they were having fights with nobody around in this movie, because the internet talked about that a lot. You know,
he should have known that. He should have realized, wait, Superman doesn't kill people, right? I think I'm gonna have him kill people. Yeah, right. Let's have him decimate an entire city. Let's just do that. That's fine.
Yeah, but now that I'm reading this dude, now that I'm reading more comics, I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand why you're upset. You know, with these earlier movies.
Yeah, because I understand Superman. I didn't just read Dark Knight Returns and be like, I understand all of comics now.
Right.
Like, that's what he did. I swear to God, that's what he did. He read Dark Knight Returns and was like, I get it. I think I get these characters now.
Yeah, because
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Just dude, you got to start watching DC animation with your kids.
So
much good stuff. You'll learn so much.
Okay. But
Bruce Timm gets DC.
Okay. Like I said, those weren't my favorite movies. That's all I'm saying. I didn't hate them like you guys did. This one, dude, when she started singing to Aquaman after he went in the water, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I didn't know what, I'm like, I'm only 10 minutes in at this point, too. I was like, I have 3.5 more hours of this garbage. And every fucking thing was a slow motion scene with stupid music. Like Lois Lane's just walking down the street. There's slow motion music playing, or slow-mo and dramatic music. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like, it's so dramatic. The whole movie's so dramatic.
It's like you said, again, it's a crutch. It's just a crutch trying to get you to feel something. It's like, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
You idiot. How about you do something on screen, incorporate some dialogue or some character moments that I might give a fuck about. He didn't do that. That's how you get a dramatic moment.
Well,
dude, I was watching Matrix Revolutions, and when Trinity died, I'm sitting there crying. Just tears just running down my face. You know how many times I've seen that scene? You know how many times I've seen that fucking scene and I'm still fucking crying at it? What the fuck?
And one of that scene, I heard somebody talking about it with that scene. I didn't rewatch Justice League. I just watched this Snyder cut, so I had forgotten a lot about Justice League, Joss's cut. But he said one thing Joss did with Lois Lane, and stopping Superman when he goes evil against everybody.
That was a big difference.
He said that Joss made it Bruce's idea to bring Lois.
Yeah, and that's
because you know how much of a thinker Bruce is. He's always one step ahead.
Yeah, that's Batman. That's Batman.
So
instead of her just happening to grow up,
her just going to the park with coffee every day, that was the reason she happened to be there. Instead of having it Bruce Wayne's idea.
Well, that's what Sean was saying. Batman has a plan for the plan of the plan to the plan. Mm-hmm. he's like 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this one. This one's like, I have faith in Superman. You just tried to kill him 20 minutes ago. Like it's all bad. It's just all bad. But I try to focus on the stuff I enjoyed, which again, I think the fight scene was way cooler. I did like the one thing Joss Whedon did, and it was a thing you might not have even noticed. In Joss Whedon's cut, when the Batmobile was going to the big final fight, they did kind of a nod to Tim Burton's and Danny Elfman's Batman score. They kind of weaved it in there a little bit. Yeah, it was real quick. He didn't do any of that. Not that was necessary, but just little touches like that I thought were really cool. But that whole scene was like really way better, though. I got to give props to Zack Snyder. Like when it comes to the action scenes, when there's no dialogue, it's just pure action. He does a much better job, and that was way better again than having the Flash, pushing a truck like as his big moment.
Right.
And then, but yeah, again, Superman just shows up, saves the day.
Makes quick work.
The fuck. What is with the enemy designs, though? Still, everybody's talking about how Steppenwolf looks so much better, and I went and looked at pictures. I'm like, they both look terrible to me. They both look stupid as hell.
Yeah.
He's wearing a monochromatic out. He's wearing silver. It's spiky now, and he basically has the same face that Doomsday did. It's like Steppenwolf in the comics has a human face. He's just human looking. The horns are just part of his helmet. But Zack Snyder is obsessed with these weird, nondescript, like alligator faces or something. I don't know what it is, but that's like the face of evil to him. So he keeps doing that. And then the whole Darkseid thing, that they should have never have shown Darkseid losing. And what they did in the Marvel universe, not to keep comparing this to the Marvel universe, but they set the gold standard here. Like when they show Thanos taking over worlds, he is casually just standing there talking to a little girl while his troops fucking murder everyone, and they truly introduce him by kicking the shit out of the Hulk. Like that's how you're like, oh fuck, this dude is legit as fuck. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're supposed to be scared of Darkseid. He got hit. He got a boo boo, and they had to drag his ass out of there. Like that was it. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? You saw what happened when Thanos got an axe in the chest. He was like, "You should have went for the head, motherfucker." Snap. Like,
right. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I agree, man.
Establish your villains.
Yeah. The villains were weak, man. They're weak.
Yeah.
That's Darkseid in the animation series. I don't ever remember Darkseid getting his ass kicked. Like I forget which one it was. There was one where I think Superman went to his planet or something, to Acropolis or something. I don't know, but they were duking it out like the whole freaking animated series. And I don't even think Superman won. I think he won, but I don't think he really won. You know what I mean? Because like his Omega beams were just like,
dude, his Omega, and that's the other thing. He shows up. Beams. He doesn't even use his Omega beams. He doesn't even use his.
Omega beams. Did in like one of the futuristic scenes when he took out like underwater. I was like, oh, Aiden, there's the Omega beams, and that was it. That's all we got.
Right. What? No, not when he actually could have used them.
Yeah,
it's just all
like
bad.
He was fighting everybody in the flashback scene. It's like, dude, where's your Omega beams, man? Come on.
I don't know anything about these Omega beams, but they sound cool. I wish I could have saw them.
Dude, he can literally. So they're like, imagine like Superman's heat ray vision. They're like red beams, but like he can literally control them. Yeah. He can control them like while they're shooting out of his eyes. He can make them go around objects.
Yeah.
Like he can control them like the whole fucking time, and they're super fucking powerful.
It's like the Arrow
and they're like
Guardians
a Z.
of the Galaxy.
They always go like a Z, and then they'll go up, and then there'll be a little Z in the pattern every time. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Hey, could you help me out with Martian Manhunter? Like, I don't understand why.
Oh, that's right. You don't know anything about Martian Manhunter.
I do know a little just from the cartoons.
You don't know
I haven't watched. I watched the whole first season of Justice League.
Okay, so you know
not
about
unlimited,
John.
not unlimited, but why didn't he join in the fight at the end? Like,
I think that was tacked on bullshit. That was literally him showing up to be like, "Hey guys, if you're doing a sequel, I'm ready." Like that's all that was. It made no sense. It made no fucking sense.
He said something like, "I've been watching you. I'm going to join the fight." Where the fuck were you a second ago when the Earth was about to be destroyed? You know. Like,
I also love that they kept the scene in the credit scene where they have Deathstroke, and then the very next scene is Deathstroke is on the same team as Batman. It's like,
with a
cool.
mohawk.
That makes sense.
With a mohawk.
Yeah, it's like that makes perfect sense. You introduce this guy to kill Batman, and then the next, it's like, okay, so if they even do a Deathstroke movie, it's a foregone conclusion. Like, there's no drama there whatsoever. Now they're on the same fucking team. Great job. Great way to build up that anticipation for the Deathstroke movie. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot.
That could be a good movie too. From reading the comic, they could do. And I know about Slade, you know, in the animated series too. But the comic we read, we learned a lot more of his character than I knew from, you know, from the animated series. That'd be a great movie.
I saw a little bit of him on the Arrow on the CW.
That's why I said that would be a great movie.
That's the only part I saw.
All right, so enough about Justice League.
All right, let's give it a rating, man.
Oh, rating?
Out of 4 stars. What do you give Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I gave it a 1.5.
What's the lowest rating you can give something?
I mean, there were good things, but like, I could make a movie if I had 4 hours to do it.
That's what I was saying to people. I was like, dude, he had 4 fucking hours, and he had everything that people said was wrong.
Yeah,
on the internet for him to pick and choose.
You know what else? I give it
most
a
people
1
don't get to do that,
right?
Because
most people don't get to like release their movie and then take notes on people's reactions and then redo their fucking movie.
Right.
That's not a normal process.
Yeah.
You can't even give them credit for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, I guess, I mean, there were some things I liked better. Like you said,
yeah,
the Cyborg, I liked developing his character a little more.
Yeah, but he had a whole nother movie to do it in. That's what I'm saying.
I know. They should have made him
I give it a 1 just because I forgot I watched it like on an old TV. So it's down to a 1 just because it was not necessary.
Did Joss?
Yeah, it did not make it better.
Did Joss Whedon's version?
Because a lot of the shots were in tight. That's what kept pissing me off too. It's like, all right, his whole thing was to make it more epic, and then there's all these super tight shots going on. I'm like, you're a cinematic moron. Like, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing behind the camera, and you get paid millions of dollars to do it. Whose dick are you sucking? Because you are awful, sir. You are fucking awful.
And
I give it an 1/8 of a star. I get 1/8 of a fucking star.
What do you give the Joss verse?
It wasn't much better.
Justice League.
I give that a 1/2 a star. So
yeah,
it wasted half as much time. It didn't take half a workday to fucking watch. So that right there gives it points. Like, dude, I mean, they're both bad. I mean, they just are. They're both fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But making a terrible thing twice as long, what are you fucking insane? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
And there were some things that were better in this one, but like when you have 4 hours, I'm sure that there's going to be some things that are better. But for the most,
loses all the goodwill again because he made it 4 hours and because of the aspect ratio. So even the things that were better were still worse because you had to sit there for 4 hours and watch a fucking rerun of Perfect Strangers, like aspect ratio. It was like, what the? You're a fucking idiot.
Oh, I forgot to ask you: does Wonder Woman always kill people, or is that just a?
Yeah, she's a warrior. So, let's talk about that. How stupid that scene was. She blows the guy out of the building while he's reloading. So her whole thing is to save these people. All she had to do, and we've established she can move super fast. So instead of taking 3 steps over and knocking his ass out, she fucking and destroys the building.
And,
like, why?
And some innocent bystander walking by on the ground.
Right. They showed it too. I'm like, oh my God, all those cops are dead.
And these little kids that she just saved, they're just like, I just watched a man explode. I didn't know I was going to see that today. I just watched a man explode. Thank you, Wonder Woman.
Pull rocks out of their scalp.
Well, that one girl didn't seem to mind. She's like, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Right.
And she's like, I'm cool with exploding people. Well, shit, I would be too if I was about to die. I'd be like, yeah, kill that motherfucker.
That's a very dangerous way to handle a hostage situation. Like, you don't know the structural integrity of that building. Like, the whole thing could have just fell on all those people, and you're like, whoopsie. Like,
I would have watched the Cyborg movie.
Yeah, I did too. I would too. Yeah. I really like Cyborg.
I like the actor that plays his dad too. He's really good.
You know what I liked about the Joss Whedon cut too? the cyborg costume they gave him at the very end of Justice League. Do you remember that? Like
I don't remember.
he looked more like the one from the cartoon at the end of the movie.
Oh, really? It was
Not in this
little
one.
bulkier?
Not in this one. Yeah, it wasn't that stupid. Him and Steppenwolf basically had the same suit, the weird spikes, and it looked terrible. And then Joss Whedon at the very end of his movie put him in like a proper cyborg.
Oh yeah,
costume.
I don't remember.
That's
yeah.
Booyah!
Yeah. This is such a shit stain of a movie, and Twitter's just like, oh yeah, I liked it better. No, you didn't.
Man, I'm
you
hearing
just think you did.
Lots of people that are loving this, man.
Well,
yeah,
I thought it was more I thought it was more. It made more sense, but once again, you had twice as long to explain yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think I don't think it would have been as good a movie if it wasn't 4 hours long. Does that make sense?
Even with 4 hours, the writing was still as bad as old Golden Age fucking comic. It's like they put a Golden Age comic on the screen for 4 hours, but they switched up all the characters. Like fucking Superman's killing people. Fucking what else? I don't know.
Yeah, but they started, like Sean said, they started that when they did Man of Steel.
Yeah,
they said that it's like
when they set that tone
when they snapped Zod's neck.
Yeah,
no, when he murdered Metropolis, I think was actually what set that tone. When Superman was like, "I'm going to genocide Metropolis right quick."
Yeah,
hope nobody minds.
He always has the benefit of hindsight. Like in the opening of Batman versus Superman, that was the first thing they addressed was all those people dying. You know, it's like,
which
dude,
I just found laughable.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, of course you would use that now and act like you intended it. Meanwhile, he was like,
right.
Oh, Superman doesn't just wantonly fucking destroy his city. Like, what the asinine. It's like just the simple. It's like, read one more comic other than Dark Knight Returns, please. Just one more comic. Just read one more, Zack Snyder. I implore you, please.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck, I could make a movie too if I did it and then everybody said that was wrong and then I redid it.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then you just come in and you're just like, what's Flash? He's like fast, right? Yeah, we'll make him fast. Superman, he's like super powerful, so he just murders. No, well, mine's gonna murder. That's just how Superman works. Batman, he just murders people. Oh, he doesn't murder. Well, mine, Batman, he's just gonna murder people. He's got machine guns. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I hope the next, like, get rid of this fucking guy. Hire somebody who has read more than one fucking comic book. In the DC universe, Bruce Timm, hello. I still don't understand how they didn't go to Bruce Timm for this shit.
I have no idea.
That's just fucking asinine. It's just so, it's all bad. It's all terrible. I had to break up that movie too. I broke it up into like 4 episodes basically because I couldn't sit through it. I was getting angry. I was like, I got to go do something else, or I did, work. And,
Molly, we started watching. Molly's like, I want to watch it with you. I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, no. I was like, okay, I'll wait for you. So then she sits down and she starts talking. She's like, wait a minute, I've seen this movie. This is the same movie. Yeah. Do you not know anything about this? No. Okay. She's like, then she started reading about it, like on her phone. This is 4 hours long? You're going to waste my time for 4 hours? I was like, I didn't ask you to watch it with me. I just said I was going to watch it. This was literally, she was ready to quit watching it a minute, 16 seconds into the film. Shit. I recorded that time, like where I had to pause it because she was done.
That's about where I was too. Like whenever
was so funny.
I saw the aspect ratio, and then the fucking the woman started singing when he jumped in the water, and I was like, I can't. 4 hours.
4 fucking hours. That's what blows me away. It's like Molly was smart enough though to be like, oh, she's like, oh yeah, I saw this movie. It was terrible the first time, and now it's 2 hours longer. Yeah, I'm out. I'm bouncing. That makes no sense to me. You took a turd and then you just smeared it all over the wall, like when you should have just flushed the damn thing. Like that's basically what he did. What the fuck? And people on Twitter are like, yeah, it's really good. And like, you just watch Fast and Furious all day, don't you? That's
the only thing I can think of is like maybe they like the action, like.
Yeah.
Do you not care about the
I do like
story at
action.
all? I do too, but I
Yeah.
like story too. I like both of those.
And it's also, it has to do though, just carrying what I do know, even though I'm not like some DC fan, what I do know about these characters, when you go in and you just see them butcher these characters that have been established. And again, you gotta look at Marvel. You gotta look at how they did Captain America. It's still amazing to me that they took Captain America, and I remember when I went and saw it opening weekend, I was like, I wonder if they're going to take Captain America and actually make him, not corny. And they fucking did it. They fucking stuck the landing. They fucking nailed it. Captain America is like my favorite character in the MCU because they did such a great job with taking him, modernizing his character, but keeping all his values and who he was, but still like they put that spin on him. Like, wow, he's actually a person, he's not just like, because every time they voice him in a video game or even a cartoon, he's always like, hey, Spider-Man, here's the plan. He's like, and that was always like how he sounded to me. And instead they brought in a good actor, gave him a layered, persona and a good actor to portray that and some emotion to go with, the fact that, yeah, he is a soldier though. He does take command of situations, but he does have a human side. And with Zack Snyder and DC, like he doesn't care about any of the characterization. None of the characterization established in all these comics, all these good cartoons. Like I said, he read Dark Knight Returns. That's his Bible. And and I love Dark Knight Returns. It's a great comic. I fucking love it. But it can't be the foundation for every DC movie. You can't do that. It doesn't make sense.
Well, if he's missing the mark, why is everybody loving it? Like, I don't understand.
Because they're not comic book fans.
I heard
they don't care.
I heard that Zack Snyder, they're going to let him do a Wonder Twins black and white movie. Sorry, I thought that was
funny.
Steve staring at you like you're dead, like he has no idea.
What's a Wonder Twin? I don't even know what
Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of an ice bucket. Form of a donkey.
Okay.
You don't remember Super Friends?
Super Friends, man.
I know of Super Friends, but
Wonder Twins, they were like they had the monkey.
Watched it.
They had the monkey. Oh my god!
One could become like an animal, and the other one could become literally like a mop bucket. It was like
anything that had to do with water, any form of water, ice.
Oh, okay.
Steam.
Yeah. This is why I wanted to start the podcast.
Have you never seen?
This is why I wanted to start a podcast with you. I don't know any of this.
But this is going to sound shitty, and I'm going to try not to be shitty, but that's why you liked Man of Steel. You didn't read comics. That's why most people like it. Most people don't read comics.
I said
no,
that.
But I'm saying it. I'm reiterating. You asked, though, a minute ago, why do people like it? Because they don't read the comics. Most people don't. And so they go see a movie, and they're just like, oh, I like this super violent take on Superman. And meanwhile, I'm like, there's 80 years of history here, and you just take him and, like, what do you do? And you turn him into the adult version of the kid from Brightburn? Like, what the fuck are you doing? That's not Superman.
He wanted to do his own take.
That dude, Super Friends is why Sean hates Aquaman. Because he had no reason to be on that
that's
show.
Where I was introduced. I just hated his character. I hated his color scheme.
He just comes in riding a seahorse. Blue, 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 blue.
As a little kid, I hated Aquaman. I've always hated Aquaman. Just always. And it just grew more and more.
Echolocation, riding a seahorse, riding a whale, in the middle of land.
From Justice League, the cartoon, the first
That's why
one,
he so hates Aquaman.
I didn't hate Aquaman on the cartoon.
Hey, and I remembered something the other day. This is the actual crux of why I absolutely hate Aquaman. On top of seeing him on Super Friends, thinking he was useless, I don't think I hated him. However, when I got as a gift, and this is going to sound totally ungrateful because it is, but I got Aquaman Underoos.
I knew it.
I was salty as fuck. I was like, and I know whoever bought that for me, I know that was the last Underoos on the rack because nobody wants fucking Aquaman Underoos. So that I ended up with Aquaman Underoos.
Did you just
I think
just shit your pants all the time just to get back at whoever bought it?
I just fucking threw it in a corner and shit on it, set it on fire. Like, I'm not wearing Aquaman shit.
I so knew where you were going with that. That's so awesome.
But yeah, I think that's what happened. Because I remember I remember what they looked like, and I think that was part
They
of it.
were
too. It was
green
like,
with the
all
yellow
fucking-
waistband. They were green with the yellow
yes,
waistband.
yes.
I know.
Yes,
I had
they
'em.
had like some design or something
The
on
shirt.
the shirt.
Yeah, it looked
but,
like you had gills or something. It was. I think
but
it was
yeah, it had
orange.
like the yellow.
I think it was
like,
orange.
Yeah, the yellow
I think it
orange
was
color.
orange with.
Were they
gills.
still playing that when I was little?
Yeah, Super Friends, man. Those were reruns.
You were younger than me though, so it was the early '80s. So you probably don't remember, but yeah, they're definitely doing
How
reruns
do
of that
you
on like
not
Saturday
know
morning.
Super
I
Friends?
know of it. I just never watched it. Like I've heard people talk about Super Friends and the Justice League.
And then the idea that they take Jason Momoa to try to make Aquaman cooler when he should be Lobo is also upsetting. Just let Aquaman be a dork, man. If you really want to bring Aquaman in, which I would much rather see any Green Lantern in that movie instead of Aquaman. Any Green Lantern. Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan. I'll take Guy fucking Gardner. Like whoever.
Somebody said Aquaman was littering in this movie, throwing shit in the ocean. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
like,
he throws his liquor bottles. Oh yeah. I didn't realize that until you said it though. But yeah.
He's
He's
like-
polluting the ocean. Like you do.
I thought you were a protector of the sea. It's got a bunch of fish and fucking Coke can plastic rings and shit. It's like, come on,
Right.
Aquaman, do a better job.
Speaking of Green Lantern, that Green Lantern in Justice League didn't last long, did he?
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't make it.
You never gave us your rating, Steve. What was your rating?
It's a 1.
1 star. So
I liked it.
1 out of
I
4.
liked it better than Aquaman.
I mean, yes, I will say
Oh
that.
yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like it better than Aquaman.
That's a good point, Steve.
I liked it better than Wonder Woman 84.
I
Yes,
think I did too, Steve. Wow, what does that say?
But
about
again,
us?
we're comparing turds here, though. We're literally looking in the toilet and being like, well, this one has, I like the texture on this turd right here, but this one has more nuts. That's basically what we're doing
This
right
one's
now.
got a little corn in it.
Yeah, this is too much corn. Too much corn in
I
this
just-
particular turd. I don't like this turd.
I just keep seeing stuff like everybody's loving it. I'm like, all right, man, good for you. They'll probably.
I think it's the same thing, though. It's the same thing like everybody loved Wonder Woman 84, but we don't hear shit about it now. There's not even me. The way I kind of gauge if a movie's popular is what memes come out of it. And like Avengers and the Star Wars movies have tons of memes. But the most recent Star Wars movies have less memes than the prequels somehow. Like a lot less. Like the prequels are like,
Because
People
nobody
love the
gives a
prequels now.
crap.
no.
Yeah.
That's exactly why, Sean.
Dude.
yeah.
Hayden Christensen, he had tons of meme worthy stuff in those prequels.
Yes. Oh, there's so much great memeing going on with the prequels. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where in a week, nobody will be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, except maybe the black and white version. But nobody actually genuinely cares about this movie.
Well,
So
I totally
they
forgot
want to
about
feel
it.
vindicated because they were campaigning for it so hard that they just are like, well, yeah, it was good because for 3 years they've been talking about how good it would be. So of course they're going to say that. They don't want to look and admit like, okay, yeah, it didn't really improve things. So
I forgot about it because Friday came and Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out.
Yeah.
so let's talk about that.
And
for a
my
little bit.
son wanted to watch it with us. And I was like, that's right. That's my boy.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Don't give a shit about Snyder Cut, but he
Aiden's like,
wanted to
it's
watch
not 4
Falcon
hours
and
long,
Winter-
is it?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, yeah. So Falcon and Winter Soldier premiered. As we most people know, at the end of Avengers Endgame, Cap gives a different shield, which I'm really curious about the history of that particular shield, since it's obviously not the same shield that he was carrying. So, like, who made that? Where did he talk to Howard Stark? Did he go to Wakanda in the past and say, "Hey, I need a shield like this"? And you guys did notice it's like a different shield though, right? It's got like the extra lines in the star and in the white part and everything,
Yeah.
I thought,
which makes sense.
Because his was.
I just assumed it got repainted again or refinished.
No, this is distinctly different. It's not just paint.
I
because you gotta remember,
saw the edging in
Yeah,
it.
it's got like little notches and
But
stuff. In
if you notice in like
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, like it's like got tar on it, to like darken it. You know
No,
what
I
I
think
mean?
they just gave it a different paint job for the beginning.
Well, that's
of
what
that.
I thought
really
they
do.
did in this one, though.
Well, there's a few reasons it has to be different. One, his shield was destroyed, 2, he probably didn't want to steal his own shield from himself in a timeline, because that would ruin that timeline for that Captain America, basically.
Wow, this
so
all
he would
makes
have
sense.
to have had this. Yeah, he would have to have had this shield made, and that's
Wow,
why
I
I think they
didn't even catch
purposely
that.
made it look distinctly different. So I just think that might make for a cool little side story in the future of where this shield came from, because it's not the same shield.
Wow.
And I'm also curious if they're going to use it as an excuse. So in the comic books, the shield is made out of adamantium as well as vibranium. It's like a mixture, an alloy. So I'm curious if that, and I'm totally nerding out here. Obviously, this is stuff of no actual consequence, kind of like having like magnets in your shield or whatever. But anyway,
No, that's a
introduce
big deal.
the X-Men.
Let's talk about that.
Right. And like, are we going to hear about adamantium? And I don't know. It's just speculation. If it goes somewhere, it's cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't really matter. It could just be vibranium. But so let's recap Falcon and Winter Soldier. Great opening scene. Nice, great action scene with the Falcon really getting to show off what he can do, I thought.
That was
Batroc is back.
Batroc, yes. I was like, holy shit, fucking Batroc.
And he had purple and yellow on too.
Yeah, he had the same outfit.
Still had
It's like,
so same colors.
Batroc lives to fight another day too. He made it out of that fight in the beginning.
Yes.
So we'll see.
He leaped. He leapt out of the plane. That was my favorite part. I was like, Batroc, ze leap there. He leapt from the helicopter. Like, that's how I always read that character, because he has like this ridiculous French mustache in the comics. And so I'm always like, I am Batroc the Leaper. Because that's his name, Batroc the Leaper.
Yeah.
And he leapt. So that was fun for me.
Yeah,
but that was a great action scene, though. Great.
Right.
Cool. Obviously we know Sam Wilson, we know Falcon, but just really got to see him use his wings and how
the fight scene
and
the fight scene inside the how he used his jetpack to like hit a guy and then push him and everything. And how he blocked with his wings. I mean, all that, it just reminded me of Winter Soldier.
And his wings formed like a shield too.
Yeah, and how
he was always blocking bullets like real quick.
Yeah, it just reminded me how good those fight scenes were in Winter Soldier. It's like they're continuing with that.
And then we see what's going on with Bucky. Bucky is in therapy.
That's great.
Understandably.
I love that fucking scene, man. He's like, that's so passive aggressive.
Yeah. He's like being shitty to his therapist.
Yeah.
What did the therapist said something though? She's like,
well, she went to get that pad out.
Something, but she cussed or something, and I was cracking up too because she was like,
yeah. He called her out on it, but they have a cool dynamic. He's obviously dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of skeletons in his closet, as we found out in this episode with the Japanese guy or the Asian guy. I don't actually know, but and his son that he apparently killed, and so he's got that going on. That's some good drama.
Yeah, he's trying to make amends in his little book,
right? And then
got a little Captain America scribble book.
Dude, I just loved when that chick asked him how old he was. He was like 106.
Yeah. And he gave that kind of like ha ha kind of thing, and then that funny look, like that awkward look. He's like, It
reminded me of Grosse Point Blank, when John Cusack's character, when people were always asking him what he does for a living, he's like, I'm an assassin. Killer. And like, like he would be honest, but nobody would believe him. And it was funny. It just kind of had that little tone to it.
The look he gave when he said it, though, was just great, man.
Yeah.
He kind of looked up and then did that laugh. It was so good.
Yeah. Ha 106. Very funny, right? So you got that. We got Sam dealing with drama. They're establishing their villain, the Flag Smasher. Like the Flag Smashers, I guess. But like I remember Flag Smasher from the comics, so that's kind of cool that they're utilizing that. And then at the end, okay, so not Bucky. Sam gives up the shield because he just doesn't feel right, feels weird about doing it. He's clearly had some pressure from the government to give up the shield so it can go in this museum. By the way, can we please get a real Captain America museum? I want to go to there because it looks so fucking like, how cool does that place look? Please make a Captain America museum.
Right, dude.
It looks so fucking awesome.
When Star Wars came out, man, the prequels and everything, they brought all that shit into like, what was it? The pyramid down here. and had all the shit from the movies on display. I was
don't
like,
remember
do
that.
that with Captain America. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would see
Yeah,
that.
I would love that. I want a Captain America museum. I don't care that he's a fictional character. But so I feel like where this show is going, and this is kind of just a general take because I don't really know specifically, but this is what I'm kind of hoping for. So they passed the mantle down to this. I think it's like John Walker or somebody. The guy. I remember reading a little bit about U.S. Agent in the comics. I'm assuming this guy is going to become U.S. Agent or whatever. But basically, I think race is going to play into this. Like they didn't want Sam to be Captain America, probably having to do more with the fact that he's black than anything else, I would imagine. So I hope they actually get into some like real current event type issues in this. So you got that going on.
I thought they were going to introduce the guy from the crew we're reading.
Which guy?
Isaiah Bradley, I think his name was. He was,
okay.
He was the first person they experimented on with the super soldier serum, but he was black.
That's Josiah X.
No, that's his son. His father was the original one before Captain America.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so you got that whole element.
Damn.
You got the element of kind of that patriotism angle. We had that insurrection, we had the seditionists led by the game show host Donald Trump earlier this year, and with that kind of element of what patriotism is. So I really hope they hit on some of these issues because those people thought they were patriots, and I think this new Captain America, I'm guessing, again, just speculating based on what I know of the character in the comics, has a very different take on what Captain America is and who Captain America is than Steve Rogers. So I hope at the end of this, I hope we see Sam Wilson. Sorry. Hope we see Sam Wilson as Captain America, though. I think that would be really cool. He looked when he became Captain America in the comics, he had a really, he still had his wings and stuff, but he had the shield too. It was a really cool take on Captain America.
Yeah, I'm thinking they'll go that route, don't you?
Well, they showed a clip of him throwing the shield, so he gets the shield back somehow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we know that's coming, but like I want to see a full Sam Wilson Captain America.
You want to see his new outfit and everything, yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to see like going forward, like the next Avengers, like he's Captain America. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that universe now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And he was Captain America. He didn't have another name.
No, he was Captain America.
No, just Captain America.
Because Captain America is a title. It's not it's not like Spider-Man where it's an an identity. It's a title. So, yeah, Bucky has been Captain America too, as well, like in the comics. But I kind of like too that Sam Wilson and Bucky, they kind of both embody different sides of Captain America too. Like Bucky is, he has like the super powered side, he's been experimented on. Mm-hmm. He's got that element. And I feel like Sam has more of that, like that sense of duty,
do what's right
to the role.
Do what's right. Moral compass.
Yeah. And, I think Bucky, Bucky just, he would have, but he got really fucked with. So he's just damaged goods at this point. Yeah, I like that. I can't wait to see them come together. Wait to see what this new Captain America actually embodies and what he does. Very excited. Much better first episode than WandaVision, where at the end of WandaVision, I was so mad after the first episode of WandaVision. I was just like, next week better get better. And then it didn't. And then I was like, next week better get better. And then it didn't. And then I was like, I'm not even I was literally at one point I was like, I'm not watching the next episode. Like I can't watch fucking old sitcoms. Yeah. And you tell me it's a good show. So this is not that. This takes place in the MCU. I already like those characters. I like Sam a lot. I know there's a lot of big Winter Soldier fans. I'm not a big Winter Soldier fan. But I've always liked Sam Wilson. And I like that we're kind of getting to see, and also then you have the other element too of like how veterans are treated, how people that have served their country are treated.
With the bank, seeing with the bank loan.
Right, I love seeing Rhodey in this. I loved that he was there to I love that he'll be kind of a mentor to Sam Wilson, because you know how I feel about Jim Rhodes. That's why we did War Machine. Plus, it's Don Cheadle. I was surprised. I was really excited to see Don Cheadle. I didn't know he was in this. I hope he plays a larger role going forward.
It's going to be interesting to see, like, with how they do, like, is Bucky and Sam friends just because of Captain America? But now that he's gone, you know what I mean? Do they consider themselves friends or just acquaintances? You know what I mean? So
I think it's going to
be
be
like, it's going to be interesting
co-workers.
to see their dynamic,
unfold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It felt like a first episode, it established, characters, villains. I thought like you said, the action right out the gate, I was like, oh, this is much more enticing than WandaVision's first episode. I was like, what?
Right.
This is good. This is good, man. Good budget too, man. They got all the money in the world. It's freaking awesome. It's like, right. I love it.
We got to talk about the scene at the end with the Captain America. His chin does not look right in that helmet or something.
His whole face, he looks like an orc.
I know that guy. I've seen that guy. What's the actor's name? Do you know? I totally know that guy. I've seen him in movies.
Wyatt somebody. I looked him up. He normally has a beard. And I was like, that's why people like me and him have beards, is because you put us, you do that, you take away our beards. That's what I was like, dude,
that is not a strong chin.
What did What did you call him? He has a title, agent something?
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent.
That's who I think. I think he's John. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's John Walker. But the guy that he's playing becomes U.S. agent after Cap becomes Cap again, kind of thing. Okay. So, but U.S. agent was like a lot more violent and just a lot less scruples than Steve Rogers. Okay. That was like that betrayal of the government too for Sam Wilson to watch. He thought they wanted the shield for the museum. And then they just hand it off.
That's so messed up. So messed up.
Yeah. Sam's like, what the fuck? So, the Flag Smashers.
Go ahead.
Is that part of like Zemo's crew then, or is that?
I don't know. I remember there was a character named Flag Smasher.
Okay.
So I don't know if there actually is somebody named Flag Smasher in this group, or if they're just utilizing it.
I didn't know if that was actually in the comics or not, if they just did that for the show. So I was just curious.
I know the other guy that's like Sam's buddy, the guy that got beat up.
The Air Force guy. The young Air Force guy.
He becomes Falcon at one point in the comics, I know.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that's where we're headed. If that guy's going to play a larger role and take over for Sam kind of thing. If Sam gets to be Captain America, which like I said, I really hope he does. I think the Marvel Universe needs a Captain America at all times. And, Steve Rogers, I think they did such a great job with his story arc and, passing the shield on and everything. And now I think we're going to get another cool story of how this Captain America comes around. So my hope again is that Sam Wilson is in the MCU for a long time as Captain America. I just think it'd be really cool. I like the character a lot. So,
yeah.
So whoever this villain is, they got super strength.
Yeah, he was kicking ass.
Clearly. Yeah.
Maybe another super soldier.
Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
So you like
very exciting stuff, though.
You liked the first episode, then?
Yes, I enjoyed it quite a bit. And it helps that I already like Sam Wilson a lot, so I hope he's kind of the focal point. And I do like Winter Soldier. I'm not like one of those huge Winter Soldier people, though. But
I was surprised how much I like Bucky's character in this. I just thought it was great.
Yeah,
he's
definitely growing on me.
I like it when they show super, heroes and everything with real problems. I just enjoy that. It's like,
and that's
they
Marvel,
say,
though. That's literally the difference between Marvel and DC. That's what the Stan Lee was always trying to do. Like with Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, was like he wanted to show that side, whereas DC was always about, just the epic hero moments. You didn't get to see Superman at home arguing with Lois Lane over dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get to see Aquaman trying to
DC
get
is always
bank
like,
loan after the blip.
Yeah, DC's all about
Right.
gods and their superiority, and
Yeah.
they're so good, whereas Marvel's more, hey, they're just one of us with superpowers. Basically, they have the same problems.
That might be one of the reasons why I enjoy the Marvel movies better than
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because DC, dude, I love Batman trilogy, and I love
I love Batman too.
I love V for Vendetta. Like just do a better movie,
Exactly.
Like
Just be better.
Just do better.
Just be a better. That's ultimately all we're asking. You can make, and again, I love old Superman movies. I love Superman 1 and 2. Yes, they're corny as fuck now, but man, as a kid, that was Superman to me. Like Superman was on my TV screen, like he embodied the character. It can be done. And again, Captain America being the closest analog I could think of somebody who believes in, truth, justice, and the American way or whatever. You can do it. You can do it. You can do a good Superman movie.
Yeah, man.
And just drop Aquaman. Stop trying to make Aquaman happen. I'll never understand that. Just stop it. You got a whole bunch of other characters you could pull from.
Wasn't Aquaman the highest grossing DC movie?
Yeah, it made like $1 billion or something. Man, like a fucking billion.
And that's why the stuff I'm saying doesn't matter, because they make money. They don't want them. They don't care if they're good movies. Right. They just have to make money, and that's what they're doing. So they're happy. So this Zack Snyder Justice League has gotten a good response.
Yeah.
So they're just encouraged.
That's what I was going to ask you. You think it's going to generate enough response to give him 2 more movies?
No.
Or maybe they'll do something for HBO Max. Maybe he'll get something for HBO Max only or something.
No, I think they're going in a different direction with the thing. I think the only reason this is out is because HBO Max. It gave them something to get people, it's worth the investment to get.
But I don't understand why.
Sign on to HBO
why is it
Max.
not worth an investment? Because
it was only $70 million.
This was better. More. This was better than Aquaman. It was better than Wonder Woman. But they continue to go with those. But it didn't do as much money. It did do as much money. Only because it wasn't in a theater.
No, this movie wouldn't have done that much money.
No, we're talking about the 2017 version, though. But that was circumstances, though. His daughter killed herself.
Yeah.
So he had to step off the movie.
Yeah.
I don't blame the guy.
I'm saying if this would have been out in theaters, you don't think this Snyder cut, you don't think people would have went and saw it?
No.
I don't think it could have been released at 4 hours. There's so many things to consider. And again, you have to imagine that we're not in COVID times, first of all right? So let's pretend the theater business is thriving. Theaters don't want a 4-hour movie. Yeah. They want that turnaround.
But
they need.
But this could have been better at 3 hours.
I don't know.
And they released 3-hour movies.
It would have been better. It still wouldn't have been good, but it would have been better.
Right.
But yeah, I think it would have done better. I do. I think it. But and also though too, you got to remember though, we don't know if this is the movie that would have showed up 4 years ago in the theater. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He has that benefit of hindsight with this. He knows what everybody hated about the Joss Whedon cut. So we don't know if this is what would have ended up on screen. I'm guessing it's pretty close though. To be honest,
I guarantee it wouldn't have been rated R. There's no way in hell this movie would have been rated R.
Well, and this movie didn't need to be rated R. You got like 2 F words in there, completely extraneous.
Well, you had a little
bit of blood
in the
But you didn't. The movie didn't benefit from any of that whatsoever. So that didn't. He's so hung up on making things dark and gritty. It's like, can you focus on making things good, please? Can you try that?
Is he upset he didn't get a Batman movie? I mean, is he upset he didn't get to make just a Batman movie?
I feel like he could have. He probably could have after Superman, but he did Batman versus Superman instead. He just jumped right into Civil War.
Can you help? Can you help me out with the epilogue? Like, is that supposed to be the Earth, the same Earth?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just shit going bad.
So all those visions. I'll sum it up for you. So all those visions, Batman's having, Ray's having, whatever. That's why Flash keeps going back and said Lois is the key. So when you see Superman holding that charred body, that's Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was Darkseid got the matter,
Anti-life
whatever,
equation.
anti-life equation. Superman was devastated. He gets into
went
Superman's
bad.
head and starts controlling Superman.
Yeah.
Superman's evil. Superman's helping Darkseid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're saying that's the way he wanted to go with his movie the first time.
Yeah.
If there was 2 or 3, yeah, this would have been like the third.
So, I've probably told you guys this before, but maybe listener doesn't know this. So, aside from reading Dark Knight Returns, Zack Snyder also played a video game called Injustice. So, in Injustice, what happens is the Joker kills he kills Lois Lane. He finds a way to kill Lois Lane, and then Superman just puts his entire arm through the Joker's chest and kills the Joker.
Damn.
And loses his mind and takes over. And then you get this whole Batman leading the resistance. So he lifted that from the video game, which I don't have a problem with. But again, it's also like too much too soon, kind of. You know what I mean? It's just weird that he wants to jump into all these things without doing the groundwork to make you care.
Right.
You know, like he's not interested. He's just like, oh, that was cool. I played a video game on my Xbox the other day. It was so cool. Superman was the bad guy. He just took over the earth. And that's where he's pulling that from. And it's like, dude, there's so many other stories. So many great Superman stories. All-Star Superman being like one of my favorites. I really like that Superman for All Seasons and stuff like that. I just feel like there's so much other stuff you could do. And he's just like, let's make Superman bad. Yeah. Let's make everybody bad. Everybody's bad. Everybody's angry. Everybody's violent all the time. Movie. Like that's his whole, it's like, stop it.
Maybe he figured everybody else did that already. So he wanted to go a whole different route.
But they didn't. We haven't had like we have the Superman Returns, which I thought had elements of greatness in it, but it was missing action. I wish they hadn't gone to Lex Luthor again. But the rescue scenes were fantastic. Brandon Routh as Superman was fantastic.
Yeah.
The suit looked great. I thought the S was a little too small, but the color, it was brightly colored, you know, it was Superman. He felt like Superman. This dude has never felt like Superman to me. And that's not a slight against Henry Cavill. I like Henry Cavill. He did his job as an actor. I blame Zack Snyder and the scriptwriters for wanting to take Superman and make him dark. And it's like, stop, do it. Just stop it. Stop. It's not Superman. You have Batman for that, you know? Just cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made
Superman Return. I liked that movie. I thought Brandon Routh was awesome. I mean, he was great. He was Christopher Reeve young.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And I think I could see what I think the studio got nervous because nobody knew Brandon Routh at the time. And everybody knew Kevin Spacey. And I agree with you. It's like way too much Lex Luthor. You know, it's like that whole story is about Lex Luthor, even though Superman's got a kid, for God's sake. But seemed like most of that movie was devoted to Lex Luthor. I see why the studio did that is because they probably worried Brandon Routh couldn't carry it by himself. They weren't sure, but they should have had some faith in whoever was doing that movie, because that was a Lex Luthor movie. That's exactly right. You called it. But I like Brandon Routh. He's awesome.
Yeah,
and like you said in Man of Steel, like he was obviously going for the darker version of Superman the whole time. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, he never, and like his dad, the way Kevin Costner was like, murder kids, it's fine. Like, what are you doing? And the people are like, yeah, it's my Superman. But it all, and again, just like Rise of Skywalker goes back to Force Awakens, all this goes back to Man of Steel. Decisions were made. Decisions were made early on. Decisions were made. And this is where we ended up. Decisions were made, and this is what happens when your foundation isn't great. You know, like that's what you end up with. This is the best they could do.
Yeah. In Joss Whedon's cut, was the final battle scene? It was under that dome, that orange dome, right?
Yeah.
Like I liked it in this one. They opened up. You could see the blue sky and everything. They took down the dome, but wasn't that whole final battle scene in like underneath that in that orange tent? Wasn't it filmed in that orange tent?
It was a lot more colorful, and like
I just enjoyed.
Like
this
everything
one better
seemed like
this time.
Like the plants were coming out of the ground, chasing Flash.
Yeah, like it was all orange and red.
It was weird. I'm not blaming Joss Whedon for the first film, though. I mean,
I'm not either.
He did freaking Avengers. So
look at all the shit he had to cut down. Look at all this.
I don't blame Joss Whedon either. Like plus obviously Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder are two different filmmakers, and I'm guessing Joss Whedon actually, he's a comic book reader. Like, I know that about Joss Whedon. I know that he's a comic book writer. He's written issues of the X-Men that I really like and stuff. His Astonishing X-Men series, I enjoyed that. And he probably came in and he was probably just like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing to these characters, bro? And he just did what he could. It wasn't great.
And he had to cut. Look how much he had to cut down. Like if all that was already there.
Yeah.
Like, look how much he had to get rid of. And it's like, whoa.
And then, I got to lay some blame on Warner Brothers too, because they should have been like, let's not do Justice League yet. Let's do a Cyborg movie. Let's do a Flash movie. Yeah. So that's on them too. They're trying to rush for that big payday, that big Avengers payday. And you see what happened. It was not a big payday.
But them. They had the template. Like, Marvel introduced these characters with multiple movies. Like, why not just follow that? Then
that's what I mean. That's the studio's mistake, in my opinion. And I'm not even asking for them to like make a Marvel style movie, meaning like tonally, it doesn't have to be Marvel style. Just make it good.
Yeah.
And again, establish these characters. Don't just put them all together and expect us to give a shit. And then have, about 90 minutes of slow motion in your fucking movie. You fucking non-filmmaking fuck. Like, what is wrong with this dude?
You know what I missed? It was corny, but I missed when Aquaman was sitting on the lasso of truth. I liked that scene.
That was cut, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cut in this one. I enjoyed that.
Well, this one had no comedy whatsoever. There was
levity.
Yeah.
I noticed they took that line out right away at the beginning when Aquaman's like, strong man, strongest alone. And like, I remember Joss Whedon, but Bruce Wayne's like, that's not a saying. That's the opposite of the saying. They took that line right out because it was funny. You can't have humor in a fucking Zack Snyder movie. Get the fuck out of here.
You can, because I was laughing the whole fucking time.
Right.
This was a comedy. Swedish chicks singing, and that'll make you laugh every time.
Dude.
And then she's like, sniffs his sweater, and was like, what are you doing? This was funny. This is a comedy the same way as when Maggie took me to see Twilight, and I just laughed my ass off. Nobody told me it wasn't a comedy. I couldn't tell. Thought it was funny. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Well,
I had to ask Molly why they were sparkling. I was like, what the hell?
I was just laughing.
I was like,
what? Scene came on.
Why is he sparkling?
Right. I just started laughing. I was like, oh, he's like a disco ball. And Maggie's like punching me in the fucking arm.
Yeah.
Did those movies?
She was so embarrassed.
Did those movies make money?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
I mean, they had lots
they
of
made
them.
36 of them. So yeah.
Yes, I was just wondering.
They did it. Any movie that when you get to the end of the series, it's a two-parter, makes a lot of money. When they can break it up into two parts and people are still going to go see it, it makes a lot of money.
All right. I got to cut this short.
Wait.
My family's...
One question.
What?
There's something that's been driving me mad. A couple months ago, I played the Batman VR game on the PlayStation, and I'm inside the Batcave, and there's a fucking T-Rex in the Batcave.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this must be some video game thing, So then I'm reading Flashpoint, and Flash is in the Batcave with Superman, and there's a fucking T-Rex there. Could somebody please explain the Tyrannosaurus Rex in the Batcave?
I don't know exactly. I think it honestly goes back to the Golden Age, and somebody can correct me. There's also in the old comics there was a giant penny too, just like a 20-foot penny.
That was
in the background.
That was in the Flash Flashpoint too.
Okay,
the penny.
Yeah, I think those are Golden Age things that sometimes artists will put in there and sometimes they won't, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I think it goes back to that. I don't know the actual story though. You should look that up.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video. It's like, why does Batman have a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the back?
So you don't know why. You've seen it.
No, but I've seen it so much I've never investigated, because like I've seen it since the 90s when there was like no way for me to look it up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have the internet. I just accepted that there was a giant penny and a dinosaur in the Batcave. It was just always there. And Jason Todd's outfit and was there. It was just part of the Batcave. I just accepted it, and I never thought to look it up.
Yeah, That was a.
So yeah,
I
you
just
should
remember
check that
playing the VR game, and it's so cool because you can look around inside the Batcave like you're there, and I'm
Right.
like, why
Yeah.
is this T-Rex right here?
Is it alive?
You're like,
no,
oh my God,
no, it's just a T-Rex. I know, I know.
Is
I'm
it
already-
a skeleton
I'm already-
T-Rex?
No, it's a real T. It's
No.
green T-Rex.
It's like a T-Rex.
Is it T-Rex? Is it moving? Is it alive?
No, it's just sitting there.
No.
It's just
It's
sitting.
like a
it's like
statue of a
taxidermied.
yeah,
It's like a tax.
okay.
I think it might be a robotic T-Rex. I'm not sure.
Okay.
yeah.
But
But like I'm in the Batcave and I'm in the VR and I'm freaking out like what I'm gonna see, what's gonna hit me. I turn my head and there's a fucking T-Rex, and then I'm reading the Flash comics and it's there in the fucking Flash comics. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, there's got to be a reason. I thought you guys would know, but
I do not know.
I'll have to.
But I'll have to look that up now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do got to go. We didn't get to the comics. I guess we'll do it next week.
Comes from Dinosaur Island, Batman number 35 from 1946.
Okay.
So like I said, Golden Age nonsense.
But why is it still there?
It's a trophy. It's one of his trophies, just like the giant penny.
That's what I thought it was in the video game. I was like, oh, some trophy. But then I saw in the comics, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, we're doing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is there a giant penny in the Batcave? That's like the next thing that comes up.
Right. Why is it?
That's it. It comes up.
I think that goes back to like Batman #1 or something. I think that one is like maybe possibly the Joker's first caper or something. I'm making that
Batman Beyond.
Okay, so next week, The Crew. We will talk about a comic.
Next week, The Crew.
Yes.
I think this was a productive show, though. We got to talk about Justice League. We kept it on topic. We kept it based on comics, just not actual books. There's just a lot of other media going on.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, dude, I got to show you this before I go, though. Sorry to our listeners, but like I got this fucking thing. I don't think you understand how big this fucking thing is. So let me find like a regular ass size comic book so you can get some scale here. Hang on. I think I have one back here.
You might want to describe it to
right.
the listeners.
I just bought this. This is not of any value. I'm just collecting all the Venom comics. So this is like a regular size comic. Trying to give you just some scale next to my head. All right.
Regular.
Let's show you now like an omnibus. This is pretty big. This is like what I showed you last week. This is a Venom omnibus. So this is bigger, right? Real thick.
Yeah.
Big book, right? So Marvel has these.
So that Venom book looked
adamantium.
like like an encyclopedia.
I feel like he's
compared to a comic.
Yeah.
So now he's about to hold up this new one.
So this is the box it came in.
Oh my god!
So this is the adamantium collection of Deadpool. This is just the box. There's nothing in here. And then we got this. Let me. Here's another thing I can show you. These are the absolute editions of Batman.
And
So the absolute editions are really big. So this is a big comic, right?
Yeah.
Real thick, big ass fucking comic. So you kind of get that scale. I always thought these were huge. These are nice hardback. So you get the scale, the absolute edition. Marvel was like, I see you, I raise you. This is a book. This is a comic book collection right here. This is about 20 pounds. I'm not exaggerating.
yeah, I can
This is
see.
about a 20-pound book. You can see me struggling here because I'm weak. But this is a book. Look at this gorgeous artwork, though.
I mean,
It's huge.
did you have to buy a new shelf for that book alone? It's like
I don't have. And then, well, here it gets better. I don't have a shelf yet. I just have this kind of just hanging out on the floor with
This
my
shelf only holds 20 pounds. It's gonna
Right, it's gonna collapse.
Yeah. With my adamantium collection, I had to also get this Captain America vibranium collection.
Oh my gosh!
Uh,
Jesus
I lost
Christ!
my earbud. So yeah, I got 2 of these bad boys. Yeah.
Oh my
That's where we're at.
god, dude! I don't
So
even. How do
Google
you
that.
read that?
So Steve wants
How do
Put
you?
it on your lap or a
Hey,
table.
Yeah, but then your legs go fall asleep.
Steve wants
From
a
the
copy
weight?
of the Dark Side that big.
So,
No, you mean the dark hole.
Darkhold. What'd I say? Dark Side.
Darkhold.
Oh shit! We've been talking about Dark Side DC. Yeah, the Darkhold. He wants a copy of the
The
Darkhold.
dark. That book's definitely
yes.
evil, dude. Sam Raimi's directing it. That book's gonna be evil. It's like if you stack those on top of each other, that would be your height. Like you have matched your height.
So I have these just sitting around. Dude, I was looking through them. The art, seeing the comic book artwork blown up to that size. It's not even it's not like when you blow up something on your computer and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see it at that size.
So I wouldn't need my readers to read those.
Right, you could actually read
I
them.
could actually read those.
Yeah.
You would have an easy time reading these, other than the fact that you'd have to read it at a table or on your lap. It's the only option.
You got to read it at the Justice League table.
I think you need a pulpit to read that big book.
It does. It reminds me of those old books we'd see in the library.
Yeah.
At Mayfair, where like you pull out a concordance, it'd be like this fucking big.
Yeah. So have you actually?
All right.
Have you read it? Have you started reading it? Like, have you broke the spine?
No, I've leafed through it. I haven't read it. I just like having them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend I'm gonna sit there and read them. I just like having them. They look cool. It's part of the collector in me. I just love those editions. Even like those absolute editions. Like I just like. It's so funny how much bigger Marvel went. Like DC was like, "Aren't these absolute editions nice?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then Marvel's like, "Bam, 3 times the size." Yeah, I'll take Chick-fil-A, but
Next,
hurry up and finish. So
next,
I do got to wrap up though.
Next week we're gonna see like holes in the drywall where Sean has put a shelf up, but the weight of the book has collapsed.
That's all it's going to be. It's just going to be destroyed back here. This is like work in progress. All right. I got to wrap it up.
The Crew next week. We'll see you.